Okay, something I've been thinking about making for a while now. It's been recommended to me by, some local people here. Is pasta Amatriciana. I think I'm saying that right. Amatriciana. It's one of the four main Roman pastas, and even though I'm not in the middle of Umbria, my advisors here say, "Yep, this is a good one. You got to make it." So thanks to the fact that I keep some guancale in the freezer, I'll be able to make this decently. Also, it calls for pecorino romano. There's different kinds of pecorino cheese, and the pecorino romano, I don't know what it is about it, but that's the one you use. Now, I'm going to make a couple shortcuts from what Steve said on a video I just watched on this. He has a nice channel called Not Just Another Cooking Show, and some pretty good insights there. But instead of making, hand pureed tomatoes, it seems to me that, if you can get good tomato sauce, good Italian tomato sauce, like you can certainly get here in Umbria, go with it. If you're in the United States, Steve's in New York there, go across the river to Jersey. I'm certain there's some good distributors over there to get you some good sauce. I'm not going to go with this sauce. It's a pretty expensive sauce. It's comes from Perugia, down there at the heel of the boot of Italy. Some very good food down there. But I'm going to go with this Cosi sauce because it's been recommended to me by a really good cook. I've had dinner over there a couple of times, and I know they can cook. So I trust what she's telling me, that this sauce is going to be fine. So this is going to go in the closet. I don't know what I'm going to save that for, but anyway, also this pasta uses rigatoni. Not sure why, but these pastas all have different shapes for reasons. I think it's mostly because of the surface of the pasta and its ability to absorb sauce in certain ways, and so I don't know. But this is what they use, this is what I'm going to use. And the last ingredient is pepper. So, Parmigiano Romano, guanciale, tomato sauce, rigatoni, and pepper. That's all you need. Okay, so I always start anything I'm cooking anymore by getting the water boiling first because it takes the longest. You can always turn it off. Now, the way they usually cut this guanciale is into long rectangular pieces. And I've got a nice fatty guanciale here, which is just from a local butcher up on the hill. Apparently this is pretty expensive in the States. No reason for that, but it is what it is. Probably a matter of popularity. And I did learn from Steve to cut off the skin here, which is tough. I always liked it in things because those pieces were like extra crispy. Yeah, they were a little bit tough, but it's just pig skin. It's the skin of the cheek, and so. But that's just me. I'm a little bit crude. Okay, so my guanciale is ready. Pieces here just, I didn't do a real consistent job of slicing them, but they're little long, long cubes, right? You could probably cut them up more, but I've seen a couple of Italian cooks. This seems to be the. Okay, so my guanciale is coming along very nicely here. It's been in there for not even 10 minutes, turning it a couple of times. I could just flip it over, but I like to do it this way. You see here, there's some pieces here that are just not quite getting there. And by keeping an eye on the individual pieces, maybe I can get them to make sure everything is done nice and consistently there. Okay, so I'm just weighing out my rigatoni here while I'm waiting. I'm just making a single serving. This is my first time making this, but not my first time making pasta for sure. And I'm going to go with 150 grams because that looks like a nice plate of pasta, and I've been out working in the yard this morning, and so there we go. Okay, now this pasta, you can see right here, it takes 13 minutes. So I'm going to take it off at about 11 minutes, and that'll be way pre-al dente, because it finishes cooking in the sauce. Okay, I'm satisfied with the guanciale, so I'm going to go ahead and start my pasta, because this isn't a fresh pasta. Doesn't mean it's not a good pasta, but that's going to take about 11 minutes to get to the point where we're going to make the sauce, and that seems about the amount of time it's going to take to make the sauce. Okay, out comes the guanciale, and we'll just put that aside for a minute, and in goes the sauce. And I'll put a little bit of water in this, just to let that reduce. It's a little, well, no, it's not just to let it reduce. It's a little thick right now, which is actually where you want it. But I want to get every bit of goodness out of this bottle. Okay, so I put in a little bit more water to rinse the bottle than needed. But I used about maybe a third of the bottle of water. Okay, after I added the water, I had increased the heat a little bit. And you can see around the edges here, it's starting to bubble. You know, that's the water cooking off, and you can see the steam coming off. That's the water coming off. And that is what causes it to thicken at this point. Okay, yeah, at this point, it tastes really good. It's just the tomatoes and the guanciale fat. That's it, there's no salt in here. Now, I've gotten in the habit of using one of these strainer spoons, because so many of these dishes, you use some pasta water in the pan to finish the pasta. Not in this one. This pasta water will go down the drain, which is kind of a waste, but whatever. So it's pretty easy, especially for this amount of pasta, to just grab it with the spoon instead of getting the strainer out and so forth. Okay, there we go. The spoon's easier to wash. The slotted spoon or the holy spoon is just easier to wash than the strainer, so it's also a little bit of good old laziness there. Okay, so this pasta is done. It's been cooking in the sauce. The sauce has been thickening up, and it turns out that amount of sauce was just about right. But before we have lunch, let's just be absolutely sure here and taste a piece, and see if we're ready. Okay, now it's time for a healthy dose of Parmigiano Romano. I mean, some folks say you have to grate your cheese until it's like snow. It looks like a powder almost. I say baloney. This is going to melt down just fine. And it's just one less thing to get dirty. Love these cheese grinders. And a little bit more cheese. Why not? Okay, that is getting there. Now just let that cheese melt. Okay, time to plate it up. Let's try not to spill it on the counter. There. Okay. Looking good. How much can I fit 150 grams of pasta and sauce in this bowl? I think I can do it. Here we go. One last piece. Come on out of there. Okay, so I just added my pepper, and I gave a little plug to these little pepper grinders. They're only about 20 bucks. They recharge from a USB port. I've had it for 6 months. It grinds pepper just fine. Not quite as good with salt. You have to shake it to make it work. But I don't know. I just felt like my pepper grinder needed a plug. Okay, so here it is. Pasta Amatriciana. It's one of the 4 big pastas in Rome. So I hear. I don't know. I'm not really spending time in Rome yet. But it's good. It's really good. There's a lot of other good pastas though here in Italy. I'm not so sure I would call this the king of pasta or anything. It is good. But I don't know, matter of taste. I kind of miss my garlic and onions and some of those things. I don't know. I don't mean to put this down in any way. It's very good. But let's get some more pepper here. Okay, this is a little late in the process, but I'm going to go ahead and grind on a little bit of pepperoncino. This is just the hot Italian pepper flakes you find in any decent pizza shop. Now I should have cooked this in with the guancale fat just to let it totally release its flavors and everything. So I'm just going to sort of stir it in here a little bit and see what we've got. Because the next time I make this, I was thinking about adding a little bit of this. Will you stop bothering me? That's what it needs. Brings to it. But pasta Amatriciana. Buon appetit.